Please do.
Yeah.
And I think it might be instrumental for other people that are having a hard time dealing with the stress in their lives. I had many years of um, multitasking in a job that I dearly loved while I lived in Los Angeles. And in 1982, I was introduced to yoga because I felt like I needed some spiritual connection. And I was working, um, I was giving like 200% to this job I had because that's what I felt was important for me
Right.
to excel in what I was doing.
Right.
While I was on this job, I had a wonderful opportunity, not only multitasking, but to go all over the world with
Okay.
students from the Fashion Institute. Those students would sign up with me to see the industry: fashion, design, merchandising, marketing, interior design, textile design, all kinds of um, merchandise marketing, theater costume. So it was a big institution, and my job was to sign them up to go on a study tour.
Right.
And the study tours took us all over the world. And I had to create 8 trips a year. So that meant I traveled a lot, and I had to meet a certain quota to get the tour conductor passes for me to be able to go with them.
Right.
So I got to the point where I was heading towards what would you call it, burnout.
Okay.
And I found in yoga, I found that little escape in a way to get out of that busy monkey mind that kept me frazzled.
Right.
My adrenal glands were shot by the time I retired 25 years later.
Right.
But during that whole time, I was working
Right.
as many hours and as much concentration on what comes next. I had to make all the appointments, all the airlines, all the connections with the transfer buses to take them to the hotels, and the appointments with the.
Plus, you was a chaperone too.
Plus, I was a chaperone,
Right.
but talking with the haute couture designers and taking them to Gucci, Ferragamo, Louis Vuitton, all of these people,
Okay.
I had to make arrangements, and I was burning out. And I said, this is my, what would you call it, salvation in a way, to get out, to step out of that busy lifestyle.
Right.
And after 25 years, I was actually doing yoga almost 3-4 times a week, removing myself from my home by going to a studio, and then kind of downloading basically all the busyness in my head.
Right.
And then when I left and I retired and I moved to Arizona, I was still in my mind thinking I had to multitask. I had to keep up that same rat race pace that I had in Los Angeles.
Right.
And I said, what the heck am I going to do with myself now?
Right.
I said, oh my God, yoga. I can teach
Right.
what's
I love.
kept me, what's kept me sane.
Right.
And I realized I started off teaching gentle yoga, which I'm still doing, to the elderly that are just too sedentary to move. And I started teaching them how to stretch in a chair.
Okay.
And that's how I met this beautiful lady who was stiff as a board and didn't want to take deep breaths and was hunched over. She had no energy and was kind of sad and depressed, and was after the loss of a dear husband, right? And so she didn't really feel like she had anything to live for. And I said, oh, come on, you have this energy within you. Tap into that.
Plus, you got the wolf story.
Yes.
You could turn that into a movie.
And so with all of this traveling that I had done, I was pretty well done with traveling, but I decided to talk about the love that I always wanted to continue connecting with my ancestry, with my mother. My mother was from Syria.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she always said to me before she passed, she says, if you travel, go to Syria. And I thought,
See home.
yeah.
Right.
I said, I don't really feel a calling, but I love the Middle East and I love Egypt. And I have always admired the Egyptian history.
Right.
And this woman walks into my life and says, oh, she loves Egyptian history too. And we started talking, and I said, oh, traveling.
Yeah.
But we got together and we went.
Yep, we did.
Okay.
And she was actually doing yoga on the cruise ship down the Nile with me. I mean, and she and I have embraced many travels together,
Absolutely.
doing our yoga
Okay.
faithfully. When I met Dito
Yeah.
8 years ago, actually I've known him longer than that, but I have to
Right.
mention him because he's very instrumental in helping to create this healthy woman too, because he taught both of us how to do the Tibetan 5 rites.
Yeah.
And the Tibetan 5 rites are just 5 asanas, which are poses or positions that you can do, but the Tibetans only do 21 of each of these 5 poses or asanas, and they have been known as like the fountain of youth. And I've seen this woman blossom with them. I've seen myself blossom with them, and I've seen
Okay.
Dito blossom with them. And he taught us how to do them. He taught them in the Ali program at Yavapai College as well.
That's right.
Okay.
So I know personally the benefits of yoga. She obviously does as well.
Okay.
She's standing taller, shoulders back, chest up.
Right.
I mean, sharp, right?
Yes.
Balanced,
Yes.
good memory.
Yes.
And so I'm gleaning also from meeting Dito and learning this added benefit
Right.
into my life as well.
Yeah.
Even though I still have my own yoga practice, I know that it's energizing, it's clearing, it's cleansing. And every morning I douse with my little pendulum, and I just set my intention for the day, and I give thanks for the power, protection, and support that I get from spirit, from dwelling within
Right.
is where the message is. And yoga's taught me that, and it's I shouldn't say saved my life, but it did
Well,
in a way,
it's working.
because I embraced it in my life, and
Right.
White Wolf has embraced it in her life.
Right.
And I think, I don't know, I
Well-
feel like you and I are pretty good examples of
Well, we
embracing our passions and
Okay.
We are.
yeah. And I've also gotten kind of an opportunity to teach different aspects of yoga. It's not just the asana practice, but it's the philosophy,
Yeah.
right?
Right. It
Yeah.
is. Right.
And there's Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. There's 8 paths that you can follow to incorporate it into your own life.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And if you've not done yoga, you don't know the benefits, but you're more than welcome to come to my class
Cool.
anytime.
Yes.
You could sit on a chair and just
That's
stretch
right.
with the rest of us.
I started out with chair yoga.
Yeah, and
Okay.
she's
And
progressed.
worked, and then one day I gradually worked on it, and I actually fledged to the mat.
Okay.
And I'll never forget the first time I ever saw her doing what they call the sun
sun,
salutation. I watched her and I thought, that is so beautiful. I want to do that someday. And I finally was
And you
able
can
She's
do
to.
doing it.
Yes,
She's
yes.
great.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was
Mhm.
quite an impression you made on me.
Well,
Okay.
that's a gentle flow,
Right.
vinyasa flow they call it. It's when one position goes into the next with the breath, and it's all about the breath. The breath will
Right.
take you in every asana. So
Right.
you do yoga then. You
Uh,
understand.
In a fashion.
Good.
In a fashion. My meditation and my Tai Chi.
Oh, you do Tai Chi.
Yes.
All right.
Right.
Good.
It's all the same.
It
It
is.
just
It
has
is.
different words,
That's,
but it's
yeah.
all the same.
It's
So,
called mindfulness.
Right.
Right.
Okay. So all right. So we're gonna have to put this
Yeah,
to
I know. We've been chit
bed.
chatting a lot.
Yes.
And you got any last words? Parting words?
well, I just, I'm 89. I will be 90 next year. And
Woohoo!
yoga has really been the thing I say, yes, it has saved my life.
That's right.
And I don't quite do the asanas as well or as thoroughly, shall we say,
Right.
as I used to when I was a little bit younger, but I still stay with it pretty
Right.
much. And I walk.
Cool.
Every evening I walk because it's been cooler at night, of course, and so I want to stay on my path of helping with people and their dogs and the wolves especially, because it's an educational process,
And that's
and
part
if
of
the-
your medicine.
and the kids are the one important ones for the educational part of it.
Right.
They're going to be our
Yes.
people that are taking care of the country.
You got
So I just hope
And
to
us,
help
too.
with that.
That's right.
it.
Yes.
Taking care of us too, maybe.
Yeah, you're right. So that's my goal for I don't know how many more years are going to be here. But
Maybe
for-
20.
I don't know when seriously, while I'm here, I want to continue on the path. And I do have my wolf as a totem.
Cool.
Mhm.
All right.
And
Any parting words from you?
Well, all I can say is that don't believe everything you hear on the news.
oh yes,
Check in with yourself. Honor yourself. Love yourself. Check in. You know, we have that third eye for a reason, right? All the answers are right inside.
That's what I always
And
say. It's in my
trust-
message.
Trust your heart.
yeah.
It's in my message.
And you know, this is how I live, and
Right.
how, and I know that the matrix is out there, but you have to check in.
Right.
You can't trust,
You can't trust anything,
but
basically.
you can trust yourself. Satnam. It's called
That's it. So, no.
Sat-
Satnam. Trust yourself.
And-
Namaste.
Yes, namaste. And you know, we never stop learning. I
Yep.
still am learning.
Yep.
Not
Right.
finished yet.
Right. I hear you. Okay.
Okay.